Hi, my name is Nathan. I'm a geography student at Oxford University, and you're watching Getting Personal with Team Upside. Okay, so for me, I like to waffle a lot, and so the most difficult part for me was condensing it down to the word count. And I think there's a big temptation when you're writing your personal statement to try and use big words or use jargon or make it sound more intellectual. But what I realized through the process of creating new drafts was that as long as you still get the same point across, that's all they really care about, rather than using big words and things like that. So that was what I found most difficult. For me, my head of year was incredibly helpful. Not only did she help me with condensing it down, but she also sort of advised on the best things to reference, because sometimes you don't really know. Say you've only got 4 things that you can talk about. Prioritizing those is really important. So she sort of helped me with that. So specifically for Oxford and Cambridge, they want it to be 80% academic, roughly, and 20% non-academic or extracurricular. So obviously I started with talking about some of the experiences that I had and why that made me choose my particular subject, geography, but then also about some of the books that I read, because I didn't get a lot of the people in my discipline were lucky enough, particularly with geography, they like to travel a lot and they like to reference that, but obviously I didn't have the funds to really do that. And so the best way that I could show my passion for the subject was through reading. So I structured it like that. Like I said, the main thing was to, I guess, with the reading, make it sound incredibly genuine, because a lot of people like to, how do I say this politely, like to portray a false version of themselves in a personal statement. So I guess it sounds cheesy, but the main thing that I could do to make myself stand out was just be myself. That sounds so good. Be myself. And then if it's the right fit, I really believe this. If it's the right fit, then it'll be calm. I'm not going to try and say do some mad things or anything like that. So I'm particularly interested in the link between humans and the environment and what impacts we have. So there's one by a guy called Simon Lewis called The Human Planet, how we created the Anthropocene, which is, I don't want to go off on a tangent, but the Anthropocene is it's a new term for the current geological age that we're in, which basically, anthro is obviously human, so the age in which humans are impacting the environment to a very high extent. And basically that was the main book that I talked about, and I just talked about how it makes me want to try and learn about geography such that I can reduce humans' impact on the planet. So I'm gonna read out a small paragraph. So in 2017, I encouraged people to become more environmentally aware by creating a video in support of a charity event that aimed to plant 100,000 trees across North America. I enjoyed actively participating in a project that sought change, the link between scientific knowledge and environmental sustainability, and the desire to create change encouraged my want to be in a similar working environment where I too can create positive environmental change. Yeah, the reason why I'm incredibly proud of that is because that's really aligns with the why or the purpose behind me wanting to study the subject. So obviously at the beginning I gave an example of something that I participated in or I experienced, but then it just really gets at why I want to do geography, which is to link scientific knowledge to social change. Again, and I think a lot of low-income students or working-class students potentially may be able to relate to this, because I had very limited experiences with geography. Firstly, it's such a broad thing, but also it obviously requires a lot of financial and a lot of the time social capital. So it was quite heavily theory. It was quite heavily what I had read. And if it's, again, this might be utopian, but if it's a good assessor or a good marker of the personal statement or good tutor, they shouldn't care whether it's really experience or theory. They shouldn't really, although one could argue that you could still have a lot of experiences on a budget. They shouldn't differentiate. It's more they should care about the passion. And so all I tried to do was demonstrate that even though I only have access to, let's say, a £10 book or some articles online, that it still evidences my passion. That's the main thing that I'm trying to show. Okay, this is it. So the diversity of interests I have in life are satisfied by the integrative aspects of geography. Firstly, that doesn't even make sense. Secondly, it's just I don't know if I'm allowed to say. It's just a load of rubbish, basically. It doesn't make sense. I guess you can forgive yourself for being a little bit cringy, but at least if you're going to be cringy, make sense as well.